I'm excited for this one. I ain't gonna lie to you. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Shadow, where we talk all things anime, comics, and everything in between. We back with these death battles. I know I've been slacking. I ain't gonna lie to you, but hey, this is gonna be interesting because a lot of people, like myself, thought this was a one-sided ass whooping, but truthfully, it's not. If you know what I'm talking about, obviously you read the title and you saw a thumbnail. We got a death battle between Satoru Gojo, one of my favorite characters in anime as of now, and also a character that I think that could solo half a verse, versus my tied for first place favorite character in all of Naruto, Kakashi Hatake. For those who don't know death battle, like I just said, we go over every single scenario and we also go over powers and abilities. We don't go over no backstory shit. We just go over certain things that we need to go over. Now, truthfully, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When I first heard and thought and saw this death battle by everybody in the community that knows and watches anime and reads manga, I thought like everybody else, this is a one-sided ass whooping, but it is not what you think. So we're gonna go over Satoru Gojo. So when it comes to him, he has certain abilities. He has infinity. He also has the 6 eyes. The 6 eyes. Now, I don't want nobody coming for me in the comments talking about like, oh, well, you got this wrong, you got that wrong. I'm just going over what I know, and I'm going to explain it to people who don't watch anime. I'm going to explain it for them so they understand what I'm talking about here. All right. And plus, I'm also basically dumbing it down because really, truthfully, I never really understood what the fuck these people said when it came to the 6 eyes and infinity. With the 6 eyes, Gojo has the ability to see and, I believe, manipulate cursed energy. Okay, so before we go any further, first off, this photo was taken like later on in the video. It doesn't matter. Anyway, the 6 eyes give Gojo the ability to A, see the flow of cursed energy, B, be able to use reverse cursed energy, and also gives him the ability to use Limitless at an atomic level. And Limitless is broken as it is already. So the 6 eyes on top of that, it's just even worse. Anyway, yeah, I just thought I should mention this. Plus, I didn't want to re-record this video. So yeah, there you go. He has to wear the bandage because if he didn't, he would be seeing it constantly and it'd be a pain in the ass to like, it'd be a headache and all that other shit. On a for real though, the 6 eyes kind of amp his powers of using infinity in general. Plus, it gives him control over positive and negative cursed energy, so there's that. Plus, Gojo has infinity, which in my book is basically a broken ass version of telekinesis. He can choose whether things, people, and objects can touch him. Did my cat just really flush the fucking toilet? With that being said, basic examples is, well, one, he can basically choose to either levitate in the air and not crush ants, or he can basically choose to where rain can touch him or not. Not only that, but he also has a domain expansion, which is called infinite void, which basically, if you get caught in it, you're basically staring into... I need to stop hitting my mic. You're staring into open space of just clear everything. Basically, is where you stare into this open space of basically like where you stare into you question yourself to death. Like that's the only way I can really explain it. And when you stare into this openness of death, unless you're Gojo, you're standing still. It's like a game of science of Squid Games plus Simon Says, but you can't do shit. You're just literally standing there. Gojo, on the other hand, can move freely in this bitch. Now, I will say this though, he does have good hand-to-hand combat skills. So this is going to be an interesting hand-to-hand fight if Kakashi can touch him, which brings me into Kakashi Hatake. Now, we're going to go over 2 versions of Kakashi Hatake. I would bring in a third, but it's not going to be fucking fair. But Kakashi Hatake is the copy ninja of the Hidden Leaf. He knows 1,000 jutsus. His main jutsu is Raikiri. I know it's Chidori, but technically it's Raikiri. And he has many different ways of using Raikiri. Not only that, he also has the ability to use other chakra natures, and well, he has the Sharingan, which gives him the ability to read, copy, and predict movements. Plus, he has the Mangekyo Sharingan, which gives him the ability to use Kamui. Not the same as Obito, only just to send things to the Kamui dimension. Let's get into DMS Kakashi. DMS Kakashi is a completely whole nother story. Basically, everything that Kakashi could do already, mixed in with what Obito can do, minus the whole Hashirama cells. I mean, like the whole like turning his body intangible by sending parts of his body to the Kamui dimension and bringing things out of the Kamui dimension, and, you know, teleporting in and out of the Kamui dimension. You know, basically what Obito can do, Kakashi can too. Has access to his own Susanoo, which has Kamui shurikens that are the size of fucking school buses. Not only that, but he has Kamui Raikiri, which basically, if you get hit by it, not only are you getting electrocuted, but whatever body part hits you is getting sent to the Kamui dimension. Yeah. Can't top that, can you? Basically, and also he's a very he's very good at hand-to-hand combat, as we saw by the Obito Kakashi fight. That's not the main thing. He also has Genjutsu. He has whatever Genjutsu that Obito had to put the Mizukage Yagura under Genjutsu, which is probably the third most powerful Genjutsu between all the Uchiha, because at the time Yagura was a Kage and a Jinchuriki of the Three Tails, Isobu. I'm pretty sure DMS and regular Kakashi does with one Sharingan. I'm not too sure. We don't know. So let's get into these scenarios. First off, we're going to go over just one-eye Sharingan Kakashi and DMS Kakashi. Now, truthfully, I'm going to be honest here. There are things I had to think about when it comes to this death battle in particularly, because mainly the main thing I had to think of was who would land the killing blow first. And truthfully, what I thought was Kakashi was not going to be able to touch Gojo. And then watching JJK, my thought was still the same, because he could just put Kakashi into infinite void, which is his domain expansion. But I'm not 100% sure if Gojo would be able to do any of those things. I mean, yes, you still would be able to put Kakashi into infinite void, but it's a 50-50 shot, and he would have to do it in a certain radius of, well, your domain is going to be. Now, granted, it's a complete domain, so yeah, there's that. But the main thing I really can think of is that if possible, with one Sharingan Kakashi, he can just send Gojo to the Kamui dimension. That's scenario one, right? I know that's probably a bad idea. You know, people thinking, oh, well, he can just hit him with a Raikiri. Raikiri can't penetrate infinity, and curse techniques like probably Hollow Purple would work on Kakashi, but he can just send that bitch to fucking Kamui. So you pick which one's probably the best fit for this scenario. But truthfully, I think personally Kakashi would be able to send Gojo to the Kamui dimension if he needs to, and that would probably wrap up scenario one. Now scenario two would be a much more interesting fight, which is probably what everybody tends to go towards when it comes to the Gojo versus Kakashi fight. And truthfully, again, I do think Kakashi is going to win this one, not only because he's going to be able to send him to Kamui, but because the main thing is that he's able to, use 1,000 jutsus still. And which brings me to my other thing. I didn't mention this in the first scenario, but like this is a main factor. Kakashi knows 1,000 jutsus. I'm pretty sure one of those jutsus has something to do with power nullifying or power chakra energy, or just like any jutsu nullification. I don't know why I feel like that's a factor in this, but I've just thought of that. There's 1,000 jutsus, but we only seen them use shadow clones, Raikiri, the Rasengan. He used the Executioner's Blade, which is technically not a jutsu, Fireball jutsu, Mud Wall. When it comes to it, truthfully, I see Kakashi hitting, either sending parts of his body to Kamui, and basically getting past Gojo's infinity, and basically hitting him with a Kamui Raikiri, or sending his ass to Kamui. Now, I'm just going to be for real here. It's one of those two. It's basically, actually, that's really what it's going to be. I'm pretty sure some of y'all be like, well, can he put him in a Genjutsu? I don't know. We've never seen any mind manipulation, which is basically what Genjutsu is. used in JJK. We've seen cursed speech, we've seen cursed techniques, we've seen domain expansion, we've seen shadows, we've seen puppets, we've seen magic, we've seen shadow puppets, we've seen animals, we've seen just bare hand-to-hand combat, we've seen weapons, we've seen all sorts of things. Does mind manipulation has a key factor in this? I'm pretty sure I don't know. But what I do know is that Gojo could possibly just get sent to Kamui and called raps. Now, I know some of you are thinking,
In JJK Zero, he was able to use that teleportation technique.
I don't think that's interdimensional. I'm going to be honest here. Now, is it possible for Gojo to win? Yes, but he has to do it within a really quick time frame, because eventually Kakashi's just going to get fed up and he'd be like, no, what? I'm just going to send you to Kamui. Now, I know that's like an instant kill win and it's not going to kill him, but if you last long enough in Kamui, you're probably going to die. So there's that. I love Gojo. He's probably like top 10 favorite anime characters for me, and he's my favorite JJK character in the entire show. But truthfully, I don't really see him winning like that. Because, again, I forgot to mention, Kakashi with DMS, Dual Mangekyos, had Sage's 6-path chakra that Obito granted him when he gained his fucking eyes. We just going off of what I think. So I want to know y'all's thoughts and opinions. Put them down in the comments. And yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will catch you on the next one. I'm out.